Hello, welcome back to Edward Carnby and his adventure. The Adventures of Edward Carnby. So, hopefully the game doesn't crash this time. We can get the bits and bobs and Uzumi Watsits. And we don't have to worry about everything crashing this time. Right, let's have a look in here. So, we're going to take this one, we're not going to take that one or that one. And then we'll take this one, and those. So we got the sword, so we don't need to take the other daggers, so we're fine with what we've got. What I'm going to do, I'm going to save quick, because if we read this one...
Ludwig Prin, nomine invocatoris, si non sanctificatus es, cave. De vermis mysteriis non absolvo folem legendum fatum et eum versus. Tibi magnum innominandum signa stellarum nigrarum et...
What does that mean? Oh, it means death. There we go. That's so goofy. Edward Carnby has met his match. Edward Carnby doesn't need to read. This is what happens when Edward Carnby reads. Why did that just fall straight on the floor? Sometimes that happens and I don't quite understand. I'm gonna put this right over here in the corner. Because otherwise... But I'm just going to keep walking into it and I don't want to. Okay, so now there's a lot of reading going on. So let's start with this one.
The Book of Yael, Signs of Stone, Eucharistic Rituals of Forbidden Cults. Texts collated by Monsignor Vacher, legate in the Curia of the Vatican.
Numerous devilish cults speak of monstrous creatures called the Old Ones.
The Old Ones.
These supernatural beings are believed to be possessed of powers equivalent to those of the gods of antique religions. Adepts of such cults refer to forbidden literature in order to cause these frightful entities to appear before them. What serious student of folk myths has not come across the names of Cthulhu and Shub-Niggurath?
Ah.
It must be said that these creatures wield tremendous power and are difficult to control once they have been unleashed into the world. Those who serve He Who Goes in Shadows protect themselves with signs of stone, carved into the walls of houses or engraved on various objects. For those misguided servants of evil, the best protection appears to be that afforded by the sign of the most ancient gods, engraved in Manar stone, a heavy material said to be disagreeable to the touch.
I don't know what that means, but there's a pentagram on the floor.
The sinful practices of those who fall into such errors can only lead to the darkest of despair, and are a mortal danger to the soul. Such monsters as those invoked by these foolhardy individuals are engendered when reason drops its guard. Man is easily tempted into perversion. It is why we must forever remain alert and renounce Satan with each breath we take. His ways are infinite in number.
Golly. So, I think it was on the first page they mentioned... second, third. They mentioned Cthulhu. And that sort of ties into the Call of Cthulhu and what this is sort of relating to. I think there's a lot of HR not H.R. Geiger. Lovecraft. I think there's a lot of Lovecraftian monsters in this game. Signs and rituals, a parchment. I think this whole section is going to take like 10 minutes altogether.
The Sacrificial Dagger, Otto Stern, Lumina Books.
The importance placed on ritual sacrifice is constant in religious cult practice. Propitiating the gods is a theme common to many religions. The Old Testament affords many examples. Primitive polytheistic belief systems integrate sacrifice in their rituals as part of the recurrent process of reaffirmation and, naturally enough, group cohesion. The members of their social and religious community come together in an act of purification and atonement. It would be erroneous to imagine the act of human sacrifice linking priest, offering, and God, C.F. Manzetti's stone cults, as anything less than a vital focusing of the group's faith. The act also ensures the continuing appeasement of the god, but only if practiced by a recognized officiating priest using the appropriate instrument. Studies made concerning primitive religious groups bear witness to the central role of sacrifice in living ritual. My own work in the field of ethnopsychology brought me into contact with a sorcerer living in the region of Arkham.
Batman.
He introduced me to the rite of steel, linked to a ceremony known as adoring the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs. The god being adored is known as the Vagabond.
And the Vagabond is what's outside in the library at the moment. Ooh.
Here, the dagger's role, which allows the life breath to pass from one dimension to another, is essential. The Vagabond is a frightening figure, being able to move where he wants and to kill those who have displeased the goat god, for whom he acts as a go-between. The goat is clearly a fertility god. The priest, having spoken the invocation, must choose the appropriate dagger for the sacrifice. The knife with a sinusoidal blade that must be dipped 7 times, on night when the moon is full, in water that has been distilled 100 times, will be laid aside, since it would send the vagabond back into his own dimension. See illustration.
Ooh, that looks like the dagger that we picked up earlier.
The priest will rather choose the dagger with a curved blade. That is more appropriate for slitting of the lamb's throat. This act transfigures the sorcerer priest and plunges the assembled worshippers into a divine trance.
So we have the sacrificial dagger. That one. So we have this one. So we can use that on the vagabond to banish him.
Juan Luis Jorge, De Biblioteca. Reflections on the power of the verb in certain texts. Archaeos Publications, 1919, Stafford.
Translation does not alter the occult power contained within such forbidden texts. The malevolent energy is in no way diminished. The spell must be cast aloud and clearly, in certain languages or little-known dialects. Maglafar Fathang. The reader will understand that, in the light of these revelations, I would be foolhardy to continue quoting from the text I have before me. If spoken aloud in its entirety, it would surely awaken powerful and malignant forces. I will go further and say that simple reading of some of the more technical passages describing specific practices is in itself a perilous exercise. The ill-prepared reader can easily fall prey to attacks of demented hysteria, not unlike those described in cases of individuals said to be possessed by evil spirits. I recommend the study made by Zempf, Urbain, Grandier, and Loudon, and the reports made by the Reverend Richard Price concerning a number of astonishing, to say the least, exorcisms carried out in a parish near Providence. Given what I have written, we must be grateful to the librarians of the British Museum, who have never allowed consultation of the work of Al-Azif's startling work, the infamous Necronomicon.
Whoa, the Necronomicon is another Lovecraftian thing.
Copies of that work do exist, in spite of the zeal of book-burning inquisitors. For proof, we need look no further than the British Museum, of course, and the sealed archives of the Miskatonic University in Arkham. Other examples of books whose evil can be unleashed by any thoughtless reader are von Jutz's von Unersprechlichen Kulten and the abominable De Vermis Mysteries by Ludwig Prien, whose sordid death should be a lesson to all those tempted by a study of the occult.
So I'm pretty sure that book that we just read relates back to the Golden Book that I read earlier, where I died. So let's put this stuff on the floor because we don't need this anymore. And then let's try and beat up the fella, the vagabond. Come on, Edward. Edward Carnby loves to destroy demons. No, I need this one. Edward Carnby loves to plunge a knife into an invisible fellow. Okay. There we go. He's gone. Yes. So the vagabond is gone now. He's not coming back. So that's nice. I don't know what the pentagram does though. I don't know what the point of it is. I guess we'll find out if we do take. Okay, let's go. Oh! Oh! We're gonna go. So there are books around here. I'll read one. There's like 4 in total in the library that we can find. But I'm just gonna read one.
The Sons of the Sun and of the Shadows. Lieutenant Lope de Vega's account of his astounding travels to the land of the Aztecs.
Holy Christ! Cried Captain Cortez, astonished by the strange rite we beheld. We found the savages half naked. They were throwing balls of silver and gold at each other. They laughed as if demented, clearly maddened by some heathen drug. And yet, should one of them fail to catch the ball thrown in his direction, the poor devil was seized and dragged off to be sacrificed in their temple. As we discovered, this frightful game was a ritual most holy to them, and symbolized the movement of the heavenly bodies. The dropping of a ball foretold a catastrophe. That is what the Aztecs believed in their godless ignorance. Their countless deities could only be appeased through endless human sacrifices. The victim's heart, which was still beating, lay in the hand of the murderous priest. The interior of the temple was surprisingly cool. The weight of our armor, our exhaustion, even the burden of our suffering, they were all banished by a sense of awe that the crudely magnificent altar instilled. In the tomb-like silence, a deep voice chanted an incantation. The majestic statue of the water goddess, Chalchihuitlicue, seemed to throb with vitality.
That would have taken me like 5 minutes to read that word. How did he read it so easily?
This massive stone, draped in a golden cloak and studded with precious stones, was coming to life before our very eyes. Horror of horrors! The granite eyes of the statue, empty of life only moments before, were now injected with blood. We staggered back in amazement. Dom Jose was taken by a fit of convulsions. He tried to raise up his crucifix, as if to ward off an attack by demons. The heathen priest laughed cruelly. The statue's mouth cracked open in a deathly grin, bearing teeth sharpened to dagger points.
Cruel.
Captain Cortez cried, "Attack!" But it was no use. We were glued to the spot.
Oh no.
We were unable to move. Our armor seemed to be bolted to the temple floor. Our legs weakened, and we collapsed in a thunder of steel. Only Cortez had the presence of mind to unsheath his dagger. He hurled it at the cackling priest. 4 inches of the finest Toledo steel buried itself in the heathen's face. His blood spurted, splashing the now lifeless idol. We picked ourselves up with difficulty. Never will I forget that terrible moment. My companions, naturally enough, told tales of devilish enchantments cast upon our armor. Whatever the truth of that, I could not deny that the supreme god of the fourth universe had treated us as mere playthings. I am convinced that a terrible energy is yet contained within that heathen statue. A power strong enough to change a proud conquistador into a helpless puppet. Drawing of Chalchihuitlicue by Dom Jose de la Sierra, done before the destruction of the Aztec temple of Tenochtitlan.
That's the heavy statue that we used to destroy the statue, the suit of armor. So that sort of gives some backstory to that, I guess. It's a bit interesting. It's a bit of lore. Some interesting lore of the game, I guess. Everything just falls to the floor. Leave it. So yeah, there's 3 other books in there that we can find, but I don't really want to, because there's already books that I've missed, so it's not going to make much difference if I spend the time trying to find out where the books have gone. I'd rather just move on, because they're not crucial to completing the game. Where did I put the lamp? I really need that. Lamp? Hello, lamp? Lamp? Where did I put the lamp? Oh, there it is. Hello. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, first aid case. Gimme. Okay. Let's get out of here quick. I actually need to go back up to the attic, because I need to get the oil can that I left upstairs. Let's use this quick. I like that I can see inside of that room, but then as soon as I go into there, then I can't see anything. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Right, so I'm gonna go back upstairs really quickly. On my desk at the moment, I actually have a book of Lovecraftian stories. The book's called The Call of Cthulhu and Other Stories. I've read like 2 of the stories. I think one of them is called like The Lost City or something, and the other one is The Hound, I think it's called. So I read both of them recently. They're both pretty interesting stories, but they're old English, so I don't quite. It takes a little while to actually read it. So let's get upstairs. We'll get the oil for the lantern, because we left it up here and we kind of need it. Edward. Get it. There we go. Take it. Thank you. Okay, so we don't need to come up here anymore. We are completely done up here. We're actually done with most of the house. I have a list of things that I need to go through and do. I pretty much just wrote out step-by-step instructions on what to do for this part. So I'll get through the bits that I need to do, and then we'll end the episode, and then before we go into the basement for the final part, I'll end this part, and then in the next part, for the end of the playthrough, we'll go through the basement and then try and do that in one part. Fingers crossed, it should be fine. It shouldn't take that long, I don't think. But at the moment, we're just getting prepared and then making sure that we've got everything ready for when we go into the basement. So if we go... I need to go and find the kitchen, wherever that was. It was downstairs, I think it was, like in the ground floor. So I need to get the jug filled with water first, before anything else. And I didn't even realise that was a thing. So go this way. Edward Carnby needs a drink. Edward Carnby is thirsty. He's a thirsty boy. Right. No, I don't want the empty shoebox. Right, so where is the jug? Use. Leave. There we go. Fill the jug. So now we have a jug of water. And what can we do with a jug of water? We can put out a fire. Or smoke. I'm fine with health. Okay, so let's quickly save. And what I need to do is I need to go to the room with the smoke in. So I need to go round this way. That's empty, isn't it? I've used that one. So let's go this way. Let me get the jug. Okay. I'm probably gonna lose health. Water jug. Use. There we go. I'm gonna leave the room because I'm worried I'm gonna take damage. Okay, so the ashtray is gone. Oh no, it's not here anymore. Edward Carnby hates smoking. Edward Carnby thinks it is bad for the health. So there's a door here that I didn't get to go into. Do I have a key? Key to the cellar. It's locked. Well, that made things a bit more uncertain. I chucked a bunch of stuff in here. Maybe one of these keys is it? I need the key to get into that room. Leave. Key to the dance hall. Oh no. What did I do with that key? Wouldn't you believe it? There's a step that I missed. Golly gosh. This is why I generally don't really play these games very often, because I end up getting lost and confused, and then it frustrates me. But this is the very last thing that I need to do. So we'll do this quickly, and then that should be everything that we need to do. There should be nothing else in the mansion that we need to do, or anywhere else we need to go. As long as I've done this, then it'll be fine. Oh, I could just... I'll go around this way. Ah! Run! Run, Edward! Go. Quick. So we need to go this way. I need to go through here, because there's something I missed. Again. There's a lot of stuff that happens in this game that you can very easily miss without either being really, really thorough or being really, really attentive. Alright. Push. So now we've moved the clock. And now we can get the key. Oh my goodness.
The Creatures of Night by Hubertus the Bald. Translated from Latin by his brother in prayer, Fratre Johann Marcus.
of monstrosity. You who read me know that night engenders monsters, and that night creatures exist. The accursed book of Abdul al-Hazred is clear on this matter. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Unhappy he who knows that book. Unhappy he whose eyes alight upon that foulest of texts. Unhappy he who implores the standing stones, for he will free the powers of darkness, of the pit. Stagnant waters are like the memory of men. Beneath the surface calm, clawed beasts await, and are known to initiates as the Deep Ones. Awaiting his prey, the Deep One seizes him and drags him down to the abyss, where Dagon, the cruel god, swims and reveres him whose name may not be pronounced. Of libraries, unhappy he who frees the prowler. Unhappy he who meets the prowler erring among the books. He generates the vagabond that comes from other spheres. He believes the vagabond does not exist. He will feel the embrace of death, for in the eyes of the vagabond, books are no more than dreams, stone no more than wind. The vagabond knows how to take the breath of the reckless. Of strife, he who speaks does not know, and believes he is able to kill the creatures of the night. Folly. Evil is conjured up by science and secrecy.
Hello? Weapon to the voice, what?
Of strife. He who prowls among books will perish by the blade. He who flies in the dark caverns will scream in fear. He who swims in the depths will evaporate. But he who believes he knows nothing. He who knows says nothing.
That's weird. There's a weird way to format it.
Of death. There are domains more terrible than death. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Each creature is conjured up and is not dead, but returns to the origins. A monster, a science. Steel kills the vagabond who never dies. Translator's note. Here ends the manuscript of Hubertus, who died in the library of the convent of Teruella in the year of our Lord 1666. Requiescat in pace.
Who? Hubertus? Okay. So now it's one step closer to everything. I mean, that talked more about the vagabond than it did anything else, so it's not really anything that we didn't know already. It was just talking about the vagabond and how to defeat it and some other information, but it wasn't like new information. So anyway, now we have the key. Why did you go that way, Edward? We can go this way, and now we can go back into the room with the ashtray in, which was, I believe, down this way. Yeah, so if we go through here, let me quickly save. I don't need this book anymore. Creatures of the night. But there's no room. But there we go. This way. Right, so we got the key. Use. Wow. We are in this little conspicuous room. So if we put the old saber, old cavalry saber. We didn't use it at the very start of the game. Well, I did, but then I restarted the game. Hello? No, I need to put it, don't I? There we go. Right, so I'm gonna do some searching in this room just to see if I've missed anything. Oh, record. Okay, so I need that record. That record's gonna help with something else. Edward Carnby loves the dance. Edward Carnby is a composer of his own music. Edward Carnby loves to make his own tunes to dance to. Edward Carnby knows that the only music worth dancing to is the music of the heart. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Right, so we've got the record. What we're gonna do is put it down. Okay, so now I have to be really careful and not touch these guys. Just run straight out again. And now they're gone. Magic. Ooh. Let me take the gramophone back. I'll end this. So, now these are gone. The mansion is pretty much empty at this point. There's not really much of anything going on here anymore. I can't use that key on that. I think the key to Jeremy's study. Okay, no, that's fine. I don't need to use the key on anything else. La 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 la. Okay, so let's get rid of Jeremy's study key. Edward Carnby loves a toss. Right, let's put... Oh, I didn't read this.
The Tale of Captain J.W. Norton of the Army of the Union.
1862. The South was in collapse.
I was waiting for him to say something.
Louisiana was open to us. I had each day to requisition victuals for our troops, and was aided in this endeavor by a score of brave men. Rebels were not yet ready to lay down their arms. The region was far from safe. I headed further and further west, and questioned many freed slaves. From them, I learned of a plantation on the coast. Its name was Derceto. We received a less than hearty welcome. Only Pickford, the owner, behaved in a friendly manner. While my men counted cattle and grain reserves, I learned what I could from him. Man was most unusual and possessed an extraordinarily cultured mind. At nightfall, I gave orders for the men to bivouac at Derceto. Pickford invited my second-in-command, Lieutenant Patterson, and myself to dine. And our host proved a most entertaining conversationalist. While coffee was being served, Patterson went to inspect the men's camp. The cigar Pickford offered me was so acrid that my head began to spin. I remembered campfire tales of fellow officers trapped by devilish Confederate tricks. My mind floated in a foul and dense fog, from which emerged the enlarged and deformed face of Pickford. He grinned at me. Patterson's return chased off the nightmare. I heard shouts and firing from outside and found the strength to take out my revolver. I fired 3 shots. Pickford fell to the floor. Patterson then helped me out of the burning house. The air was filled with smoke. We resembled a company in disorderly retreat. I saw slaves leaping into the flames of that inferno. They were trying to save Pickford's life.
Ooh. Isn't that nice of the pirates? Okay. So now I don't need I don't need this book anymore, so let's launch that. I like when something hits the wall and it just falls straight to the ground. I'm gonna leave the oil can for now. I'm gonna leave the dagger. Some bullets. How many? It's got 18 bullets. Christ, that revolver has 18 bullets in it now. I don't know what the light is for. I don't think I need the jug anymore. Where's the jug? Jug? Throw. Okay, right. So, let's go this way. And let's go back into this room. Hello. I want to see if there's anything in this table. I don't think there would be. The dresser. Did I check the chest of drawers? I don't remember. I'll double check it anyway. Painting. It's a very good thing that I didn't use the saber after replaying this, and I just use combat, because otherwise we probably wouldn't have been able to have done this. Oh, okay. This is death. Edward needs to run across this, because this is just going to collapse. Lovely. So, this is home stretch to the end. I think we've done literally everything else in the game that we need to. Apart from books, I think we've done everything. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is this part of the game, as we're going through the colon, this part of the game is going to be left until the next part, and then the next part is going to be, oh hello, exploring. Shoot him. Oh, okay. So yeah, this part's just going to be exploring the colons, the underground colons, and oh, we've got a new ability, by the way. We can jump. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this part, then please leave a like and subscribe. Edward Carnby loves when people like and subscribe. It fills him with glee. And yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Laters, taters. I wonder what happens if I die. Go this way and fall off. Lovely.